What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 8 of Down Under. I'm Hassan.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Jake.
Today we're going to be talking about the wild card reactions and our preview to the divisional round. You guys want to kick off anything?
Well, let's talk about that Patriots-Bills game first.
I thought it was going to be a closer game. I even had the Patriots.
I think everyone in the right mind had the Patriots in a little bit closer game.
Do you see what Jordan Poyer said about when they were in the huddle?
Uh-uh.
They're like, let's teach them cocky asses. Like their years, it's an end of an era today or something. And Bill Belichick's sitting there with the straightest face his whole life. It's like that's why I was getting them hype. I mean,
that had to be one of Belichick's worst playoff losses in his career
ever.
So is it fair to say it was Tom Brady the whole time?
No,
I don't think so.
no.
The Patriots still beat the Bills this season. It was a snow game, but still.
No, it was a win game. Nobody threw the ball, and at that time, Bills.
That was a very cold game. That's why he didn't throw the ball.
That's when the Bills were like, "We're gonna sit Zach Moss." No, actually, we won't sit Zach Moss. We're gonna sit Devin Singletary. They didn't have a run game where the Patriots did.
I had a feeling though in that first game, or no, was it the first game that the Patriots won?
Yeah.
I had a feeling that the Patriots were going to win that game, but I had a feeling this last game that they'd lose because
They
Mac
were just
Jones.
hot at the right time.
Well, that and Mac Jones had only thrown the ball 3 times in that type of weather.
And
You're just not going to win a football. And I know that sounds
coming into the playoffs.
right, and I know that sounds ridiculous because
he threw an interception, right? I bet he did.
Yeah, he did. And I know that sounds ridiculous because in the NFL you shouldn't have any excuses, but like the weather does make a huge difference. I think anyway.
Especially as a rookie quarterback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I bet he's a Florida boy. Then he went to Alabama.
Yeah. That's got to be. Well, did you see him on the sideline? He was sitting there or he was breathing on the sideline, like staring at his breath.
I did see that.
He looked mesmerized.
Yeah. As they were down, 20-0?
Yeah, that
Bills
game
look
was
awesome.
ugly.
Yeah, the Bills look good.
We'll get into the Bills-Chiefs game later because I have points to say, but the Bills look like a legitimate threat to us right now.
Josh Allen is here.
He is.
He's about to put the whole league on notice.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will.
All right, Bengals-Raiders. That was – I bet everybody knew who was going to win, but the Raiders put up a fight.
I didn't think –
With the cards they were dealt with, they did a great job. I will give them that.
Did you see their interim coach writing handwritten thank you letters to all the players after the game? I think he should be retained as their head coach.
You see Jim Harbaugh said, if I get offered the Raiders job, I'll take it.
Harbaugh said that? I didn't see. I don't think – I want him to stay in Michigan.
I think we all know he doesn't want to be a college coach.
I feel like he does. You're at Michigan, and you just brought them to their first playoff, and you just got done beating Ohio State and winning the Big Ten. Why would you want to leave?
Now's not the time to leave if you're Jim Harbaugh.
No.
I can see him leaving. At the same time, I can see him staying.
I could see him leaving in how the grand scheme of college football is now with NIL, and it's really not like college football used to be, and it's more all about the money at this point. So I could see Harbaugh following suit and leaving to go to the NFL, following money.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's fair.
But I also feel like him leaving would be another like Urban Meyer situation.
I could see that as well.
And as much as like Urban Meyer was a fantastic college coach,
fair.
Harbaugh is too, I believe. Even though he's had his struggles in big games, he's still a great coach. Good enough to stay at Michigan for as long as he has. But as soon as he goes to the NFL, it'll be like an Urban Meyer situation.
It's the same way like Coach K, Calipari, Bill Self, none of those college basketball guys ever went to the NFL or the NBA because there is a fine line between coaching professional athletes that are getting paid millions of dollars to play, as opposed to mentoring young college athletes. I feel like you have a little bit more leeway coaching college guys. Those guys will listen to you more, whereas guys in the NFL and the NBA,
you got to put big egos together.
Yeah, they're not going to deal with your shit, and they're just going to be like, well, if I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to get paid either way, whether you care or not.
I think Coach K did. I know we're getting off track, but I think Coach K was the one guy that could have gone to the NBA. And the reason why I say that though is because you good?
Yeah, there's something.
People don't keep in mind that he was one of the Olympics.
Yeah, he was so respected,
and he was respected by the NBA guys, and he was in that position because of he was able to put those big egos together. So he might have succeeded in the NBA, but we'll obviously never know that.
But like you see, when John Calipari went to the NBA, it didn't last long.
Nope.
And he went right back to college.
No.
All right, well, talking about the Bengals-Raiders game, I want to talk about the whistle play. League rule says if a whistle is blown, the play is blown dead. The whistle was blown and Burrow threw a touchdown, and the Bengals won by a touchdown. Obviously, if it wasn't a touchdown, I'm not saying the Raiders would have won the game. I bet the Bengals would have gone down and scored again.
It would have changed the outlook of the game.
Yep.
Definitely. But the big news coming out of it is that the refs will no longer ref in the playoff, which I think
it's a great call.
it is. I mean, like, that is league rules, and they basically said no, we didn't blow a whistle. Ignore the whistle. You can't do that in the NFL.
Not
with all the cameras on you.
I was going to say, not in a playoff game you can't. That just can't happen. And
I think he blew the whistle because he thought he went out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I saw what you were talking about, but I never really looked at the replay. But
He was in bounds.
Who blew the whistle? Was it the side judge or
Yeah,
somebody
side
across
judge.
That's inexcusable.
He
That
was
just
literally
can't happen.
so Burrow was like right here, refs like
running
right
towards
there,
him?
watching
Yeah,
his
You
feet.
can't do that.
He was in bounds clearly, but it was a touchdown. They won by a touchdown. Now I'm not
I wonder
saying,
if it was like a tentative whistle, like he blew it, but it was like, oh shit, that's the wrong
Anticipation
call.
I definitely that's what everybody thinks too. It was
Like he was like, oh, he's coming. Is he gonna get rid of the ball? Let me blow the. And then he blew it too early, and he made a touchdown pass, and they're like, oh, let's just call it off.
and that happened. Whatever, but by rule, if a whistle's
can't
blown,
happen
the
in the
play is
playoffs.
dead.
Yeah.
It would have shaped out to be a different game. I don't think the Raiders would have won the game, but it was definitely a little unfair.
Mm-hmm.
See, but playoff games like that, I feel like there's always a big call like that in a playoff game, and no one's going to be content with the call. There's always going to be someone on either side that is like.
The Chiefs-Steelers game was probably the most like even and let them play playoff game I've ever seen. And
That that reffing crew has always been good. I feel like
I mean,
it's,
it was a
who was
fun
the
game.
head? Who was the head ref in that game?
I don't know. Which game?
The Chiefs game.
I
I
Nobody
recognize
was getting
that.
hurt in the Chiefs game either.
You said
There
what?
were like no injuries in the Chiefs game.
Yeah, it was a clean fun game.
Did you see Juju after the game signing the kid's jersey? I saw that on Twitter.
He wants
today.
to sign back with the Steelers.
Does he really?
Yeah, he says he wants to bring a Super Bowl here. I said, come win a Super Bowl, dude. I wouldn't mind him. I know he would be kind of.
I would take Juju in a heartbeat.
Dude, what does he have to offer?
Juju is our solid wide receiver too.
Juju's the guy that teams start worrying about.
McColl and Pringle are really bringing themselves up.
They are.
Yes.
But Juju would help them out even more than they.
I mean,
think
it's a good thing we're on the Steelers topic because we're on the Steelers. I mean, Juju didn't really do a lot that game. But obviously, it's his first game back from injury.
Well, Ben just throws slants. He throws slants and he throws out routes.
Because
If
the
you look at
pocket
the box,
can't hold up.
Yeah, if you look at the box score, he's got 30 completions and there's 5 or 6 dudes that all have 4 or 5 catches for like 30 yards each. There's nobody that's blowing off the stat charts just because they're.
Yep.
Reps.
And I think it was a perfect game for Steve because Steve likes to blitz a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he blitzed. I think we only got like 1 sack.
We had 2 sacks, I think.
2 sacks. But it was a great retirement party. Thank you for the invite, Ben.
Mhm.
It was really fun to watch.
I
couldn't
couldn't watch your
talk.
last game, Ben.
I just honestly, it's crazy. We did go to Big Ben's last game.
It's still cool, and you can't. I know he's had a shit last 4 or 5 years, but I'd say
You still can't take away what he did.
Right.
He's a Hall of
prior to
Famer.
he was a
that, yeah.
phenomenal quarterback.
Oh yeah. Moving to the Chiefs, 5 touchdowns in 10 minutes of game time.
Yeah,
10 minutes and
it's-
like 31 seconds.
Mhm.
It's insane.
It was fun to watch. I'll tell you that.
That's why I think this Bills Chiefs game is going to be so explosive.
I saw a hand in the air and I went and high fived it. I don't know who it was.
Lots of high fives.
And
Lots
this
of high
Chiefs
fives.
defense, what people don't. I think the Bills Chiefs game is going to be close, but the Chiefs defense, what they don't realize, they made so many adjustments defensively that I think
Steve was on the hot seat entering.
Well, now you throw Chris Jones and Melvin Ingram into the mix.
Right.
Neither one of those guys played the first game.
So,
We'll talk about that. I can clear that. We'll don't spoil it, but
yeah.
it was definitely a fun game to watch. Obviously, I think the whole world had Chiefs. But what I tell you,
The whole world
what was
minus
like
Pittsburgh.
40-7. I called it.
Yeah.
Although hell, I feel like some Pittsburgh fans. Well, obviously you guys were at the game, but I was watching the game and I saw some Pittsburgh fans like towards the end when they were getting blown out by 20-something points. They all were smiling.
I mean, there was a good amount of Steelers fans at the game.
Every time there were some
They
leaving,
could-
I was
although
like,
that fan base usually travels pretty well.
Mhm.
"It's the Steelers. I mean, they're a historic franchise.
Yeah,
Big
same
Ben
with-
is known."
Yeah, but I feel like they were perfectly content with how that game ended.
I mean, I think they knew, but they just came to have fun.
Your quarterback comes in saying that basically they're not.
We're the 14th of 14 teams, and we're playing pretty much the number one team in the league right now, and we're gonna get blown out.
Yeah, when they had that touchdown, I looked to Jake. I said, "I'm not worried. 47 right here." Then it was like 35-7.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was a fun game. It was my first playoff game. I genuinely had a fun time.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals, Buda Baker obviously suffered a really bad injury.
What's his update?
It's just a concussion.
He's out of the hospital.
He's out of the hospital. He's out of Arizona. It's just a concussion.
Cam Akers, man. He's going to be a problem.
Cam Akers.
That recovery is insane to me.
6 months after.
5 months.
5 months after an Achilles injury.
And then running for almost 100 yards in a playoff game.
I think total yards he probably had over 100.
Yeah, I was going to say he had receptions through the air too.
He had a 40-yard reception from OBJ.
He's just...
Well, yeah, because at one point OBJ had more passing yards than Kyler Murray in the second half of the
playoff
OBJ
game. Played well too.
And I
know part of that is because they were so worried about Kupp that OBJ was getting open. It was kind of the same thing.
I was watching a film
Robert
breakdown.
Woods.
I was watching a film breakdown of somebody was breaking down Sean McVay and how much of a genius he is. So you know that deep pass to Van Jefferson?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is Van Jefferson was like middle right to the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Left of the field was Kupp going in for a little out. The safety took one step to the left because he worried about Kupp. Kupp was already double teamed, by the way. That opened up Van Jefferson for a split second because Kupp is such a dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
Then OBJ is running his own route, which caused the linebackers to sink in that wide open down the field.
Well, I don't know if you saw when the game was going on how they'll have Kupp and Higbee lined up to the right, running back on the left, and they'll take both of those guys and block downfield, and they're both great downfield blockers, and it opens up so many holes for Sony Michel and Cam Akers. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And with that OBJ nearly second touchdown, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
The way
He was right there.
Cooper Kupp was in the middle of the field, which dragged everybody to the left. Away from OBJ, that opened up. It's just.
And OBJ's still good enough in his career. One-on-one, he's going to beat you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a 1,900-yard receiving year,
you're going to double team.
You're going to get triple teamed.
Yeah.
Like, he was already double teamed, and the safety took that one step to the right, which opened Van Jefferson up.
See, but that's when teams game plan, they tell him to worry about Kupp. So, I mean, you can't really necessarily blame the safety on that play. Because,
I'm not blaming him.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, as if he didn't take that step, and yes, Van Jefferson was covered, what happens if Kupp gets open and now all of a sudden he's getting his ass
He's still
chewed
got a
on the
touchdown
sideline
in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, all that effort. I mean, it was like a short route touchdown.
And now...
But what's it look like on the stat sheet, knowing he got double teamed?
Yeah.
He had, 50 yards, something like that?
Well, I want to talk about Kyler's stupid play in the end zone.
Yeah, I said Kyler was not his best. He was just...
Kyler was terrible.
Take it away.
Well, Kyler...
Break down what happened. Tell us what happened.
All right, so they're backed up at the, 1 or 2 yard line?
It's 3rd and 7.
They're at the 2 yard line. He's
3rd and 7, he drops back, and here comes pressure, and he's in the end zone. Well, obviously, if he goes down, it's a safety.
Take the 2 points, not the 7.
He looked like he was about to go down and then tried to run out and then decided to pretty much throw something over his shoulder, and
I was going to say it was just like a little...
It was
I know you were saying inexperience. That's just a stupid football play. That's not inexperience.
It is a stupid football play.
In the NFL, that is inexcusable in the playoffs. You cannot make that play.
You're 100% right, but it is a stupid football play, but it's. I know it's not all inexperience, but there's lots of inexperience in there. Like, it's his third year, second year.
I get that, but at the same time...
You just got to know you can't...
When you play at a high level, when you go to OU...
take the safety.
When you go to OU...
You win the Heisman Trophy.
You win a Heisman Trophy, and you play at a high level in college, and you are coached by... I know you're hitting by Lincoln Riley, and you do all these good things, and then all of a sudden make a stupid-ass play like that, that's just inexcusable. You can't do that, especially when you play at such a high level your whole career.
You're so right, but what I'm saying is, say he had more experience in the playoffs against, and I know the Rams are already in his division, but this is a different atmosphere than a regular game.
Yeah,
you're in the end zone.
I get it. You're
down by
game. What are you down by 14? You're trying to make a play.
You just can't afford to make those mistakes, and that comes with experience as well. Like, I'm not comparing the two. Like, just get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady would just taken the sack.
Probably.
Yeah,
He would have just taken the sack in the end zone, got the safety, handed it off to his defense.
That's just.
But now he has to. Now they have to. Now they're down by even more.
It's a tough play because Kyler, I'm sure, is trying to make a play because they're already down by 14. He's playing like shit.
Exactly.
Their offense isn't clicking. 3 and outs.
They have negative 6 yards of total offense.
Yeah, like negative 7 yards at that point. It was just
rough.
It was stupid.
The Cardinals' offense just wasn't.
No, they just sat there and spun their wheels. They didn't get
but it's that
going.
whole team, though. That whole team does not.
Defense
really
looked
have
terrible too, in my opinion.
Experience against a high level, high power machine. Like the Rams are literally built to win now.
Okay, I understand that, but you can't make that excuse because they sat there and played that division all year.
Yeah, you're totally right. I'm telling you, you're right. But the Rams are built to win now. They have no picks, pretty much.
I think if you have D-Hop and a couple other guys on the Cardinals, they're built to win now.
Yeah, I think if D-Hop plays,
if D-Hop would play, it would have been a closer game because their attention.
Because then other guys, right, and then other guys open up.
Yes,
because then they just double team.
And then that offense, okay, and now instead of it being a 14-0 game, it's a 14-7 game. And Kyler, yes, maybe takes that safety, but then they get the ball. You know, they get a stop and get the ball back, and now it's 16-14. That's a closer game.
J.J. Watt returned, but what did he do? He had one stop.
He didn't play well.
One stop.
I think he's.
I didn't think he was.
I didn't expect much of him either.
I like J.J. Watt. It sucks to see him, but I mean, it's old age, and he's in a skilled position where like it takes a lot of toll on his body.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be big. He has to be fast.
And those young guys are just coming in and out of that position, ready to play.
And like offensive linemen are now powerful, faster. Mm-hmm. Like if you have,
scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, I called it.
You did.
I looked to him. I said, "Big man touchdown right here." What do they do? Throw it to a leg ready.
Touchdown.
But it sucked because I like Kyler.
Yeah.
I like the Cardinals, but I also like the Rams.
I wanted the Cardinals to win that game.
I wanted the Cardinals to win too, but the Rams are literally built to win now, and playoff atmosphere is way different than regular season.
At least Stafford got his first playoff win out of the way.
Yeah,
Stafford would have been was the man to watch in that game. If Stafford played bad, the Cardinals would have won. Mm-hmm. If Stafford played good,
although honestly though, with the way the Cardinals offense played, if Stafford still would have played bad,
it was more of the Rams defense, dude. The Rams defense would not let Kyler get like 2 seconds in the pocket.
That's what the whole D-Hop, not having D-Hop there hurt him so much.
I know, but that's also what Cliff Kingsbury. He does not have a lot of experience in the playoffs either.
Well, Cliff Kingsbury just has a.
His resume says I coached Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. His resume says I coached the first 6 games of a season and then fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
He's ended all 3 of his professional seasons with the Cardinals, and he's ended at least the 5 seasons with Texas Tech on a losing record. I mean, shit, he didn't do anything with Patrick Mahomes in college.
I know.
I mean, I get that obviously Patrick Mahomes was raw at that point, and nobody could even have imagined he was going to turn to this.
Yeah.
But still, you would expect him to at least do something with Patrick Mahomes in college.
Yeah.
It was a terrible game to watch. I thought it was going to be a close, fun one to watch because how the earlier battles worked. But I'm going to say it again. Playoff atmosphere is so different, especially a team that is literally acquired and built to win now.
Yeah.
And if all the pieces are clicking, there's like no way they lose.
Yeah.
Like Matthew Stafford had his struggles this season. Defense had some holes this season.
Cliff Kingsbury is going to be sitting on his couch in Leawood, Kansas with this Peloton now.
But, I mean,
when he gets hired as the Chiefs quarterback's coach.
Cardinals have a great future, though, if they can get it working right.
They do, but they also have a lot of old guys.
They're going to be mediocre for a while.
I think they are, too.
I think they'll be
Chandler
better than
Jones
Seahawks
is just going to keep getting older, man.
Think about it. Chandler,
JJ,
D-Hop's getting up there now, too.
I know.
He's like 31.
How old is Buda Baker?
He's young.
Buda's
25?
He's young.
Buda will be there for a while.
I don't see him staying, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet he leaves.
Safeties and, like, good, skilled position players like that
they are of high demand.
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu left the Cardinals.
Yeah. He was cut by the Cardinals. Yeah, he was cut because of some, legal issues. Yeah. And then he got signed by the Texans.
Mm-hmm. They're kicking themselves.
Yeah.
Buda and Tyrann? Ooh.
Because Buda wore 32 in honor of Matthew.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But, all right, let's move on.
I'm glad Buda's good, though. Because that was a scary play. Because like you said, Hassan.
Jordan Hicks is getting older. I mean, they still have Isaiah Stemmons, but
that's true too. His arms went straight up, and it was like.
I mean, Cam Akers had no idea of knowing that the dude was hurt on the ground.
I know.
Yeah,
it
people
was
were
a
shitting
football
on
play.
Cam Akers for that too, because
It was a
Cam went
football
like
play.
this at the end.
Because the dude's down for a second, and when you're in football, the dude's down for a second. You're
Your
like, he's about
adrenaline's
to get
pumping.
up.
You just ran over some guy.
Yeah,
You're gonna do something.
I don't think anybody took offense to that.
No.
Only in the moment maybe did, but like 10 minutes after, he's like, oh, whatever. It's a football play. I don't even think Buda Baker thinks anything of it.
Probably not.
I don't know if coaches do this often, but props to Sean McVay.
He was there.
He was
right
being
there.
out there. He's right next to Buda. And I know that like OBJ said something on Twitter about praying for Buda or something like that, or something to the extent of that. So I thought that was cool. Did we already talk about the Cowboys game, or are we just skipping over that?
Oh, I didn't even bring it in.
Yeah.
Niners Cowboys.
I just noticed. I was like, we're missing
Niners
something.
are the only wild card team to win it.
The only
Wild card team to come in and win it in the wild card round.
team that wasn't a home team.
The only wild card team. They were the wild card team.
What?
The others are division winners. That was the wild card
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
I look at it as they're.
I don't care.
They're
that
both
was
in the
that.
wild card game. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it was. I had the Niners coming into it.
I think everybody. I think a lot of people did.
It was a disappointing season. I mean, no, not really for the Cowboys.
No,
It was
Cowboys
just
is a great season, but again, it's
disappointing loss after the great
This
season.
whole season for them is going to be overlooked because their fan base is so sick and tired of them. Before it was not making the playoffs, and now it is losing when they first get to the playoffs after destroying their shit division.
Well, that's the problem. I think is they play in such a bad division.
They play what 8 or they play 6 games against
the Giants,
the
Eagles, and the football
and
team.
Football team.
That's not making you get any better,
No.
especially when you're beating the football team, putting up 50 points, and then you're beating the Eagles, putting up 50 points. Yeah, that looks great in that moment, but you see the game in the middle of those two when they played the Cardinals and they scored like 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
If your offense can't produce against high-level defenses, it's not going to translate to the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna go back to season opener Bucks Cowboys. They looked really.
That was a
They
hell of
looked
a
really
game.
good.
I remember why we were.
That
getting
made me
wins.
real excited for Dak Prescott on
Yeah.
my fantasy team. I mean,
Yeah.
I still won, but no thanks to Dak Prescott.
They look
actually,
good,
that
but
game
it's
against
just
Washington.
it sucks. I think Mike McCarthy does not deserve to be fired, but I think he deserves to have a look at.
Okay, I don't think that.
That's his
I
second
think
season
he
day.
should be fired.
He had a questionable calls in the game. Yes,
I don't think he will be though.
I bet he will because I think
Who
they're
else
going
now-
to tear down that coaching staff.
Dan Quinn was
Dan
awesome.
Quinn will
Dan
probably
Quinn
be
is going to
gone.
leave. Kellen Moore is going to leave unless Kellen Moore is hired as the head
You
coach.
see,
of
Dan
Dallas.
Quinn's the leading candidate for the Vikings.
They hired. Or
Well,
they
I
interviewed
also
Kellen
heard
Moore
the
too.
Broncos was a leading wanted Dan Quinn too.
Both of those. I think Broncos need more of an offensive-minded coach. The Vikings need more of a defensive-minded coach, and that's why Dan Quinn's leading candidate.
You know who after watching that game, who I think is one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL now? Out of the 49ers Cowboys game? Kyle Shanahan.
I always said he's not that good.
The way he coached that second half was god awful.
I don't know. I didn't watch the second half.
Jimmy G was injured. They had to.
I know, but
Shanahan's
it was
deal has
just
always been run the
god
ball.
awful.
And we're going to run the ball until it doesn't work.
I remember my dad talking about it. The only reason why not the only reason why, but the reason why Kyle's got a job in the NFL right now is because his dad, Mike Shanahan, was the coach of the Broncos and was a really good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, yes,
I don't think he's a terrible coach.
I don't think he's terrible. He's
But I
definitely
don't
not
think
the
he's
worst
as
coach
good.
in the
I don't think
division.
he's as good as a lot of people think he is.
I totally agree.
I think that team wins a little bit. I think they win 2 or 3 more games without.
He's been
Kyle in
to
there.
2 Super Bowls and lost both Super Bowls while leading by 10 points.
I mean, he played the Chiefs in one, and who did he play in the other?
Patriots.
He was on the Falcons coaching staff.
He was offensive coordinator for the Falcons.
Well, that's
not his fault.
That's not his fault. I mean,
It's on the
although
resume.
actually it kind of is his fault. You're up 28
Yeah.
to 3, and then you make some.
Their offense was
They
not
got
clicking.
conservative
Mm-hmm.
But here's the
against
thing.
Tom Brady.
I think he had to deal. You don't throw Trey Lance in when it's a close game in the second half of a wild card round. That's
They
my
put Trey Lance in?
No, they kept Jimmy G in even though he had
Oh.
a sprained shoulder. Because Jimmy G's a game manager.
Oh, you're not going to take
no
out. You're not
experience
going
in
to
the
put Trey.
playoffs.
You're not going to put Trey in there unless Trey plays 3/4 of the game during the season.
I mean, Trey looked good against.
Yeah, but you won't put him in there in a
Oh,
playoff.
No, not
Like
again.
like they were losing when the Chiefs. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just giving an example that came into my head. Chiefs had Alex Smith. Mahomes was the backup at the time in the wild card round.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
They're not gonna.
Yeah, no.
And they're losing. They're not gonna
Yeah, they're
switch
not-
it up.
No.
they're gonna. And if you're the Niners, you have the lead. It's a close game.
You ride the veteran.
Yeah,
even if he's
you deal with the game manager. You deal with the person who's been there.
Yep.
He's not the best. Yeah, he's been to the Super Bowl. He's paused. I think he's something in one in playoffs.
There's a lot of subpar coaches that have been to the Super Bowl though.
He's something in one in playoffs, and the one is, and he has only been to like 3 playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Well,
as a starting quarterback.
Brady.
No, as a starting quarterback. He's like 4-1 or something now.
Who, Jimmy?
Yeah.
It's because that year again when they smacked the shit out of the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was no thanks to him. Raheem Mostert had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell looks good. Jeff Wilson's a solid backup.
Eli Mitchell and Deebo Samuel out of the backfield.
I want to run it back with the Niners, low key.
I wouldn't mind to play them again either.
It would be a fun game.
I think they could get there too.
I don't think they can.
To get there, they need to play the Rams.
They gotta play really good against either the Bucs or the Rams. I think they can have an okay game against the Packers and still beat the Packers.
I think they can beat Green Bay.
We'll just
I wouldn't be surprised though if Green Bay just kicks.
We'll just
take
it
everyone's sitting there doubting them, and then Green Bay
I wouldn't be
wins by 20-something points.
We'll take it straight into the Niners-Packers divisional game.
Yep.
Rodgers is 0-4 against the Niners in the playoffs. They beat the Niners earlier this season, but it was regular season and playoffs, and I don't care what you say, those are 2 different games.
What's the score in the regular season game?
I think it was by a touchdown. This is when, I think this was week 3, 4, 5.
Was this when they were trying to decide if they want to start Garoppolo or Trey Lance?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was them necessarily. It was the media trying to stir up something.
Packers are easily the best team in the league. I know the Chiefs beat them.
They lost by 2 points.
The Niners?
That's when they had Trey Sermon at running back.
Yeah.
I think
the Packers were down too. And
the Packers were down by they were down by Mason Crosby kicked a field goal
to win the game.
Yeah. Niners came down and scored with 37 seconds.
Oh, I remember that because that's when I remember that game. Now I remember that game when you said Crosby.
That was the game where they were still having Trey Lance in for.
Although I think that was also a game the Packers weren't necessarily clicking on all terms either, because you got to remember. I think 2 weeks before that they lost the Saints 38-3, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, what the hell's going on with the Packers?" And then they beat the Lions, and they're like, "Well, that's the Lions." And then they're like, "Okay, this is going to be their test." They're 1-1.
They played the Niners week 3.
Yeah,
I remember that game.
And I don't think the Packers were necessarily clicking on all the cylinders.
I don't know, but I forgot that Jameis Winston scored 5 touchdowns on Green Bay.
Yeah, that was a rough game. That was a wake-up call for Rodgers that, hey, you got to pick your stuff up.
That was a terrible game. Packers are usually the best team in the league. They have the best record. They have all the
It's crazy
weapons.
that we say the Packers are the best team in the league, but yet we're all sitting here saying, hey, they can lose.
That's what I love about playoff football.
I think the Packers...
everybody said, how do you lose to the Niners? Right? Look at the Niners. They came in and they played well. Their defense shined. And their defense is getting healthy.
I want to say the Packers are going to lose the 49ers.
That's what I agree.
But I think the Packers, I think the fan base and them having that home field advantage again, there's going to be they say this every year, but this year especially, since this is quote unquote Rodgers and Devontae Adams' last dance, there's going to be a certain type of energy in that stadium.
Especially,
and that Lambeau Field is probably
the
behind
best home
Arrowhead
field advantage ever in the whole league. Probably the best home, especially playoff.
I'd put it first before Arrowhead.
Yeah. 1 and 2 would be Lambeau and
Arrowhead's just loud, really.
Arrowhead's the Chiefs have a really good fan base.
Of course. I'm the fan.
I know that, but I'm just saying Arrowhead Stadium is a hard place to play.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Lambeau Field, them having the home field advantage is going to help them out tremendously, especially with this being Rodgers' last season. Well, everyone thinks Rodgers' last season.
I think it is here.
If he wins, he's staying.
I don't see it, dude. I think it's enough.
And I think there is a chance.
Rodgers on that commercial?
I'm sure either that or Mahomes.
Dude, I'm so tired of those commercials.
I don't know. I think
they need to take Baker off this commercial.
Are going to beat the Packers. George Kittle has to be more involved in the pass game.
But the thing is, I'm sure it'll be snow on the ground and it'll be cold.
I don't know what the weather is. It'll probably end up being a run game. And you ask me, the Niners. I know the Packers have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, but the Niners...
that was the thing that I was curious about.
Packers run defense is not that good.
Yeah.
How good is Aaron Jones going to be in the playoffs? Because remember, he's kind of taken a back seat this year. A.J. Dillon's been the man for him.
It's because of injuries, though.
I know, but now Aaron Jones might be that weapon.
We'll see how fresh he is because they sat there and effed around with him and didn't want to give him 20 carries a game throughout the end of the regular season.
Jair might be out, huh?
Yeah, Randall Cobb's going to play, though. Or he should.
Randall's on injured reserve IR still as of the 19th. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling's questionable. Bakhtiari, is he still out?
They need MVS to play.
Is David still out?
Packers still have a lot of guys.
That would help their O-line out tremendously if they had Bakhtiari.
It's going to be a fun game to watch for sure, but I definitely got Niners. I think it'll be a close game.
Well, and the Niners don't have Bosa.
Is he still in concussion? He won't clear concussion
I don't
protocol?
think he will.
When's that game? Saturday?
Yes.
Saturday?
Both one seeds play Saturday.
I don't think he will.
It's crazy because we're about to talk about we'll talk about the other Saturday game, but both Sunday games, winner of those games are going to see each other in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
All right, let's talk
That's
about.
why they're playing on Sunday.
You said what?
Sure.
That's why they're playing on Sunday.
Let's talk about that Cincinnati-Tennessee game.
I really don't think the Titans have the 1 seed roster. I'll give it to Vrabel. He played good with the cards he was dealt, but like, I feel like they're like the Steelers last year. They're like they're undefeated, but who's talking about them winning at all? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think they might be like one of the.
They're definitely an underdog team.
They might be one of the most not underrated, but like what's the word? Undervalued first seed, like in the playoffs.
But like, does that make sense? I comparing it to the Steelers last year because the Steelers last year they were 11-0 at one point. I was like, and I made this comment. I said, they're the only 11-0
I think the Steelers
team.
of last year. I think the Steelers like that Steelers team last year. The team to compare them to, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Fair.
Cardinals went 7-0 and then ended up going 4-7 their
You're
last.
100% right. But
11.
what I'm saying is, their team is obviously good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at who they played, but like they're good, and nobody's talking about them winning at all.
Without Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Tannehill found ways to win. Now that he's going to have his weapons back, I think Cincinnati can make it a close game, but because Cincinnati right now is playing hot. They're playing some of the best football in the National Football League right now. But I don't think enough people are talking about what Tennessee's potential is with Derrick Henry at full strength. I get that he's probably not at full strength.
He's probably 90%,
but
80%.
Still, Derrick Henry's 90-80% is probably better than
Joe
3/4
Mixon's
of the running backs in the ML.
I think that if I'm Buffalo or Kansas City, I want Tennessee to win that next game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever wins the Buffalo-Kansas City game will be in the Super Bowl. I don't see either Cincinnati or Tennessee beating either Buffalo or Kansas City at this time. Not right now.
I'll be upset if we lose to the Bills, but I like the Bills too.
I mean, the Chiefs, they've got something to prove. I know we'll get into this later, but there's 4 teams left in the AFC. The Chiefs have lost to all of them.
Yeah. Granted, I got some points, but like, so I mean, I got the Bengals winning. Bengals.
I guess we didn't
game.
really do our prediction for the Packers.
We pretty much said we pretty much said who we got. You said the Packers will lose.
I have Packers by 10.
I think the Packers will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners win.
Yeah,
I got the Niners winning.
But if I was a betting man and I put money on on one side, I'd put money on Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I know he's 0-4 in his history, but
I'm not thinking about history. I'm thinking about right now.
I know.
Niners are playing their best ball they could all season.
I know that, but I'm telling you that home field advantage is going to be so key in this.
You look
game.
at the 2 teams side to side, Green Bay versus San Francisco. They're not even, in my opinion, they're not even comparable.
Listen, I'm not comparing the 2 teams when I say this, but this team is giving me 2021 Buccaneer vibes in the playoffs.
What do you mean by
super underrated?
I don't think
they were.
I was gonna say I don't think the Buccaneers were super underrated last year.
I just think the Buccaneers.
I guess they didn't win the division, but the Buccaneers still had Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yes, but
you can't be underrated with having Tom Brady unless he's 50-something years old.
That's what I think. I think that's what I see a lot. Obviously, I'm not comparing fucking Jimmy Garoppolo to Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same level.
I mean, you can. They're both Belichick products.
Belichick wanted Jimmy G.
He did.
But I can see that. I can see him going. They're like not playing any home games. I can see it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the Bucks versus Rams.
You want to make our predictions for the Tennessee game quick?
All right, go ahead.
Jake?
Tennessee game, I'm going to take Cincinnati.
I'm taking Bengals. I don't want them to win, but
I don't want them to win either, but I think when push comes to shove, Joe Burrow will get it done.
hopefully the Titans will beat them up for us a bit.
I think Burrow's playing with a different fire right now. I got Cincinnati by 7.
All right.
I think it's going to be the same type of game like the Raiders game, if that makes sense. Like it was
Close.
it was close the whole game, and there's just going to be one play that like stands out from the rest. I mean, because the one play that stood out from the rest in that Cincinnati game, obviously besides the poor, officiating, was that Burrow throw.
2 years ago when the Niners played the Packers, Garoppolo threw the ball 8 times.
How much rushing yards did they have?
Mostert had 220 for 4. That's insane.
Packers defense has been pretty solid this year, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
With
It's good
Jeff
run
Wilson,
defense, though. What?
Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell are pretty good.
Jeff Wilson won't see the field.
I can see him seeing the field.
Debo,
No,
it's
because
going to be
Debo.
Debo.
That's
and
why.
Oh.
Because Debo's
Debo's going to run the ball.
Yeah. Did you see him on? He said, "Give me the ball."
And he scored.
Having
Ran for a
him,
touchdown.
having him as that
A
two-way
weapon.
threat,
a weapon.
that weapon
A weapon.
is,
Weapon.
brother. What are you laughing at?
No, you're totally right. He's definitely a threat.
Yeah.
He gives me why can I not think of his name?
I don't know, but if Cooper
84 for the Falcons.
Cordell Patterson,
Cordell Patterson.
He gives
I
me
would
him
say
vibes.
Debo's a
he's better.
young, yeah.
Obviously he's better, but
If Cooper Kupp didn't have 1,900 yards, I feel like Debo would be getting a whole lot more attention for Offensive Player of the Year just because he affects the game
he's
so much on
definitely
the ground. And
he's
through the
definitely
air.
one of the best receivers in the league this year.
Yeah. I do want to point out, you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you guys got to see the third ever tight end pass touchdown in the playoffs.
I know Kelsey's
in NFL
first
history.
ever touchdown.
You see Mahomes was wide open.
You know the
Yeah,
last
he's
one that
calling for the
happened?
ball.
Anyone can guess what the last one was? The last tight end pass?
tight end. When
It was a Philly special.
Yep, really special to Foles.
Here's what I'm thinking. You know why they didn't throw it to Mahomes? They're going to use that play again.
You think?
I think if it's a close game and Kelsey's back a Wildcat and they know exactly what happens,
I
either
have a
Kelsey
feeling
runs
the
in and
Chiefs-
throws it and Mahomes just sneaks out, easy.
I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to utilize that play that that
Chiefs
Play
love
to Jerick
Wildcat.
McKinnon where
they
he
play to
just
McKinnon.
kinda
They'll
shovel
use
pass.
that little shovel
They
pass.
use that pass every game, I swear.
But it's smart. I don't know if you saw that guy. If you saw, I think it was Manning that broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
But as who was it for? JJ or as TJ Watt came off the edge, TJ had to make a decision whether to
Go
if
after the
Mahomes was
quarterback
going to
or
make a
guard the
throw
guy.
or run, or if he was going to cover McKinnon. And so Mahomes looked like he was going to run, and then he dished it off to McKinnon. Well, by the time that McKinnon was already past him and was in the end zone, and then you're already taking out TJ from the play. And so you just
you see when that big man touchdown came, Allegretti threw TJ Watt down,
I saw that.
I didn't see that.
tossed him like a rag doll.
Really?
All right, so I mean, I'm lost. Where were
I
we?
was gonna say
We were at the Cincinnati Tennessee game,
All right,
but
let's-
now we can move on to the Sunday games.
Bucks Rams. Winner of this game goes to Super Bowl 100%, maybe 89%. I can see the Niners coming out.
This boy's not very high on the Packers.
I am high.
Packers still got that home field advantage against either Los Angeles or Tampa too. I know they had it last year, but
History tends to repeat itself a lot in the National Football League.
yeah, especially in the playoffs.
And especially you already know what you have to do to beat this team. It's just a matter of executing it.
Yeah,
So who do you think's gonna win?
Of the Packers,
Niners?
no, the
Bucks,
Tampa Bay.
Rams.
Bucks, Rams. I got the Rams.
I also have the Rams.
Rams. All right, here's what I said. Rams beat the Bucks earlier this season. When the Rams were first trying to figure it out, they were both 2-0 at that time. Bucks, I think they were relatively healthier than they are now. I think no, they were healthier than they are now.
Mhm.
Obviously, Tom Brady had a few mistakes. At that point, they didn't. Leonard Fournette was not an in-game threat at that point in the season.
Mhm.
He became a threat like week 6, week 7.
Yeah.
Is Leonard coming back for this game?
I don't.
I think it's in the air.
I don't know about him or Rojo. I think it's going to come down to the end of a game, and can Stafford outplay Brady?
I think.
And you can never count, even though he's 44 years old, he's about to be an MVP.
Brady will. Here's my thing. I think Los Angeles they come out of this game a little too high over that last game.
I think they are super high on life right now.
They are like, oh my, like not. I'm sure some of those guys aren't, but I'm just saying they just got done smacking the shit out of out of Arizona. Just smack the crap out of them. You got to change if you're playing against Tom Brady in the playoffs. You got to change your mindset real quick.
You're flying across the country.
I was going to say either that or you're going to get your ass handed to you, and Tom will take advantage of that real quick. And
I definitely think Matt Stafford is going to keep his head on a swivel.
I think Stafford's playoff inexperience is going to be the reason why they lose this game. And I have Tampa Bay.
I can definitely see that. You're right, but dude, I just think
experience
the Rams
always wins
are better
in the NFL,
built than the
I think.
Bucs right now. And I know they have Tom Brady, and I know they have more game managers.
They're just healthy right now.
And I know the Bucs defense is healthier, but the Bucs offense isn't.
The Rams
to
me, this Los Angeles Tampa Bay game is the game to watch out of four of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I know you have the history between Buffalo and Kansas City, but like this game, like
no, you're right.
This is Stafford's like.
This is the
Stafford's
question,
biggest game of his career, I think.
Is Stafford our guy to get us over the hump?
This is the reason why they traded so much draft capital
to get the guy
number one overall pick for him to play in these games.
Yeah, like this is Stafford's big. Is
he the guy to get them over the hump? Is he the guy to outduel these quarterbacks?
Outduel the GOAT,
the best quarterback in the league right now,
the best quarterback of all time
in history. Yeah.
You got. I mean, I just think Stafford's at playoff inexperience. I mean, I don't know. This is such a tight matchup that like I would like to see. Let me look on this game and see what the.
The thing is, but also O-line injuries.
So conflicting.
Oh, they also have a key offensive line
65% chance.
I don't know if it's quite that much.
God.
Tristan Wirfs is not.
What's do they have the over under yet or the?
And the thing is, you're like, well, next
Tampa Bay's 3-point favorite. Over under 48.5.
I mean, they have home field advantage. If you're home field advantage, you're probably favorited. If this was at Rams, I bet it would be Rams are favorites. And they were like, what? It's a 2 and 3 seed, right?
Yeah, because the Bucs had the 2.
Cowboys were the 3 seed.
Yeah, Cowboys were the 3 seed.
Yeah.
4 was
the Bucs the 4 seed?
No, Bucs
Rams
were 2.
were the 4 because Rams Cardinals was 4.
Rams was 4.
Niners were 6. 6-3 Cowboys. 7-2 was.
Bucs. I think they all have the same record, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a good game to watch for sure. Winner definitely goes to the Super Bowl. If Rams can figure this out and do it, they're definitely a real threat.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see us losing to the Rams in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I know the Rams just got done kicking Arizona's ass, but they've played a lot of close games against.
They have,
especially towards the. I was going to say, especially against the back end of the season. You look at I'm just looking at their schedule right now. Their last 5, they played Seattle and won by 10.
I was going to say
they played Minnesota and won by
Buffalo,
7.
Or they didn't put away Baltimore with Tyler Huntley.
That's when Stafford was struggling.
I get that, but he can't have that game against the Buccaneers.
Exactly. He had a great game against the Cardinals.
Right, but he's got to realize
Stafford had like 8 interceptions in their last 4 games.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He's got to.
Mahomes had a statistically better year than Josh Allen.
He did. I saw those stats.
I don't know. I have the Buccaneers by 3 in this game.
I got the Rams by 3.
I got the Rams by 6.
Okay. All right. Sunday Night Football.
Dun-dun-dun. Wow, the Chiefs aren't even favored.
Mm-mm.
Chiefs versus Bills. Bills are obviously coming for revenge. I've seen literally this video everywhere about Stephon Diggs.
That's what I don't understand. See, this matchup predictor is so stupid. Because that's all based off of ESPN's FPI, their Football Power Index. This is Kansas City. Usually the Caesar or the sports book is usually pretty correct on these games for the most part.
So obviously, I've seen the video of Stephon Diggs watching us celebrate the AFC Championship a million times.
Put it everywhere because this is such a normal pose to do when you got all the camera guys behind you.
Yeah. Make it look like I care a lot, but I'm really excited to go home and sit on the couch.
All right, here's the thing. Obviously, we played the Chiefs-Bills game. I remember that game. I was flying. I was watching the game while I was flying. What happened was Kansas City had 4 turnovers. We were winning at first. Then we had 4 turnovers. We were winning 10-0, I remember. 10-3 or something like that. Then we were winning. We had 4 turnovers. We did not have Chris Jones. We had key injuries. But now we have
Chris Jones, didn't have Melvin. Now Nick Bolton is that guy, pal.
This is just a completely, totally different Kansas City Chiefs teams than what the Bills.
And I get nobody wants to see the Chiefs win anymore because they're sick of it. Obviously, I'm
sorry for these fans that don't want to see the Chiefs win, but this game, the Bills Chiefs, is going to be a game you guys see a lot.
Yeah,
like a lot for years to come.
We play the Bills again next year.
I'm just saying in the playoffs, this will be a playoff matchup probably almost every single year.
Do you know what our next year's schedule looking like? NFC West.
Yeah,
it's the fourth hardest.
And we play the Colts division.
Because I think I might go to California and watch Chiefs Rams. Because they play.
We better hope that there's a Chargers game there too.
There will be.
At the same back-to-back weeks or something like that.
You could have it on the same day and just try to figure something out as long as they don't lay up on one has a Sunday night game and the other one has a
Monday night game.
Right.
I bet there's something like that, but
yeah.
We have a really tough schedule next year. I definitely see us losing 5 games again next year, just because we're playing the NFC West.
We're gonna need to get some defensive help in the draft and/or free agency, and we're going to need a solidified third option.
And you can't come out as flat as you did earlier in the season.
I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is that good for us anymore. He's consistently injured.
Clyde has not been good.
Derek McKinnon, man. Give him a chance.
Dude, McKinnon went off. McKinnon had a hell of a game.
Darryl had
against
a terrible
Pittsburgh,
game.
but Pittsburgh's defense was still
He fumbled twice on that play. I didn't know he fumbled twice. I thought he fumbled once. He got murdered by whatever. Then T.J. Watt just slid into the end zone. But, Chiefs are definitely playing with keep us underdogs. I think we play better when we are underdogs. And I don't know, dude. I think the Bills are also super high on life after beating the Patriots.
And they're high on life because they beat us last time they played us.
Exactly. They won their midseason Super Bowl.
Yeah, but there's still something to prove with that team. I don't think they're as high as the Rams are.
There is, but we are a completely better, different.
I think Allen realizes that. I don't know about the rest of the team.
Mahomes and our defense has experience.
It comes down to Josh Allen.
It does, and I really think Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Melvin Ingram, Okafor is going to really make it hard for him. We're going to shut down the run game. I really think we are, and Willie Gay is going to be the man to watch. We need to give him more snaps, and we need to put him on Josh Allen.
I have the Chiefs by 1 point in this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I have a game. It's gonna be a game-winning field goal or something.
Yeah, It's gonna come down. to can Josh Allen make plays with his legs?
That's why I'm saying Willie Gay needs to be on the field.
I know he can, and that's gonna be the issue for the Chiefs. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the reason. That's the reason why he. Okay, when you look at a guy like Josh, who's what 6'4",
6'5",
6'4", 6'5", probably 235 maybe.
Cannon arm. And now he can run out.
And I was going to say, and now you got to deal with him running out of the pocket. That's a scary sight.
I think he's not as good as Mahomes, but he's just a more versatile version of Mahomes.
I think he's more mobile than Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes doesn't run.
But at the same time, I don't think Andy Reid allows him to be mobile.
No, I think he does.
Not as mobile as he can.
Well,
I think he does. Andy Reid had Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick in his systems.
I was going to say, Andy may not have every play designed for Mahomes to run out of the pocket and throw a 50-yard bomb, but he knows Mahomes is capable of doing so.
Yeah.
Now, in the Bills playbook, I mean, honestly, if I'm the Bills, I would have some designed runs for Josh Allen in this game, because then the Chiefs defense now has to focus on Allen, not only Allen.
I think you're forgetting that Josh Allen did run a lot against us.
How much did he run for?
Yeah, I know he ran for a touchdown for sure.
Well, yeah, but I feel like he killed them obviously a lot more with their arm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was also a questionable defense at the time. That's when Daniel Sorensen played 100%.
He had 59 yards. He still had 11 carries on the ground. And
he threw 15 throws for 315 yards.
15 throws.
15 completions for 315 and 3 touchdowns.
That's when Daniel Sorensen played 100%.
That's when Dawson Knox had 3 receptions for 117.
I think if we implement Sorensen lower in the field as one of that hard-hitting guy who's he sees somebody running, he's just going to go in there.
You know what I think is funny about that game? There was no rushing yards between both the running backs for either side. Mahomes led the team in rushing for the Chiefs.
Because we were playing from behind a lot.
I know, but now that is I think that's also the thing that people got to watch out for. The Chiefs' run game. I know Darryl did not play very good last game. He fumbled twice. But McKinnon's, I think, going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
I think everybody's pointing out McKinnon to be an issue. So the Bills' attention's more focused on let's shut down McKinnon.
I don't know if they necessarily focused on shutting down McKinnon.
See where
I
I'm
see
getting
where
at?
you're
attention
getting
to
at.
shut down Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
I know. Obviously, on top of that, I'm talking about McKinnon. Like when we're going to the
I don't
Bills,
think they're too worried about him, honestly.
No.
Just because he had one game.
I know,
But he could be the guy that
I can
make
see
a
this as
break.
another Damien Williams playoff run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people paid attention to him because we need that though. We need that third option who can carry us on his back sometimes.
Yeah.
Because Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Kelce can't do it all if everybody knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's the first vertical throw Mahomes threw all season to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there's going to be this weekend is such a great weekend if you're an NFL fan, football fan in general, because there are so many tight. Like this might be some of the tightest. I feel like in history, this was like some of the tightest games that we've had in a long.
Where most of these games, you can make an argument for
both sides.
Yeah. With that being said, let's
That's the thing.
give our predictions. I got Chiefs winning. I want to say by 5 points.
Chiefs by 1 point.
He got the Bills.
I'm sorry, but I could see the Bills winning by.
I could see the Bills winning, but
I'll
think
take the Bills by 3. Just because I'll just be that guy.
No, I can see that too. It's gonna be
winner of this Sunday slate games goes to the Super Bowl. 100%, 89%.
I just think Buffalo's too hot.
all
right
of a
now,
sudden.
and
Here
Kansas
comes the
City's
Packers.
been.
Go Packers! All the way
Dun,
to the
dun.
Super Bowl.
Dun, dun, dun.
Go Pack, go!
I mean,
That's the other thing.
Obviously, I
Packers
want
have-
the Chiefs to win, but
I want my Super Bowl to be Chiefs Packers.
yeah, that's ideal.
I think that chance was last year and the year
I think
before.
it's a chance this year too.
No, there's a chance this year too.
I don't know, dude. I just really don't think the Packers are really built to the Rams, Buccaneers.
I don't feel like you've been high on the Packers all year though.
I like the
put the
Packers.
Rams, or I would. Put
I have
the
a
Packers
Rodgers
above
jersey.
the Buccaneers.
Just because you have a Rodgers jersey doesn't mean you like the Packers.
I like the Packers.
You
They're
like
like
Aaron Rodgers.
everybody likes the Packers.
Not everyone likes the Packers.
I'm not
There's
hating
the
on the
Vikings.
There were
Packers.
Packers fans at the Chiefs game on Sunday.
Yeah, there were.
That's true.
I mean,
Packers would have won that game against the Chiefs if Rodgers was playing.
this was I thought I like this.
They might have won by 14.
Great analysis of these
Yeah, that was
slate
a
games.
Fun episode. I don't know what else we got going on, but
This will be posted Saturday morning.
To get ready for some football.
and remember, dun 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 dun.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next vid. Any last words?
I'm good.
We'll see you guys later.
Peace out. Thank you for
See ya.
watching.